Okay, so this is going to be my third video about languages and language learning, and hopefully this is going to be my last video discussing this topic, because I would like to talk about other things too. But okay, language learning it is for this time. And this is going to be a follow-up video of the first video I made, and I will be discussing the YouTube polyglot community once more. But before I continue with that, I would like to talk about the most important thing that you need to know when you're about to learn a new language. And this is the most important question that you need to know, and you need to know the answer for this question, and you need to know it well. And the most important thing that you need to know in language learning, and the most important question that you have to ask yourself is, why are you learning the language? That is the most important question. Why are you learning this language? And you need to know the answer for that question, and you need to always remind yourself the answer to that question. Why are you learning this language? You need to know the reason why are you learning a language, because the reason is what's going to define the method that you're going to use, the approach that you're going to use, and the attitude in which you are going to continue this language journey. Okay? So the purpose of why you want to learn a language is going to define everything for you. Everything. Okay? So the first thing that you need to do when you're about to learn a language is define why you want to learn this language. Okay? If you say, oh, you know, I'm just interested in the culture, and I just want to know the language because it's something interesting to me, if those are your kind of reasons, then that's okay. You are a hobbyist. You are learning a language because you're interested in the language. You don't really need the language. It's probable that you are not going to use the language anytime soon. So that means that you are a hobbyist. You are learning this language basically as a pastime. And another really different situation is, for example, the people who are not learning a language because they want to, or because they're interested in the culture or something like that. There's a lot of people who are actually learning a language because they need to. They really need to. They they are going to be sent to another country, and they need to know the language, and they need to speak the language, or they need to get a certification about that language, and they need to study to pass that certification, or they are just going to immigrate to that country, and they need to speak that language, and they need to be functional in that language, and they need to be able to communicate in that language. So, as you can see, they are not learning the language because they particularly like it, or because it's a hobby for them. No, they are learning the language because they need to, and they have the necessity to learn that language. So these are the serious learners. They treat their language learning in a much serious way. This is something serious in their life, and they are learning not as a relaxed way, not as a just, oh, it's just a pastime. No, this is not a pastime for them. This is something serious. That's why they are serious learners. Okay? And as you can see, you have the hobbyists, you have the serious learners, and they are completely different groups because they have different purposes for the language. Okay? As you can see that they are completely different. And of course, they are going to apply different approaches to the goal, which is to learn a language. They are just going to treat the language completely different, and for obvious reasons. I mean, someone who is a serious learner will not follow the things that a hobbyist do, because this is not a hobby for him. This is something serious. Let's imagine that, I don't know, tonight the company that you work for calls you and they say, hey, you know what, we are going to send you to Russia next month, and you're going to be the leader of the Russian division, and you're going to be there for the following year, for the following 2 years. In 1 month we are going to send you there. What are you going to do? What are you going to do in that situation? Are you just going to, I don't know, listen to Russian music and, I don't know, find texts in Russian and read those texts, or find podcasts in Russian and listen to those podcasts and just relax and, you know, do that kind of stuff in a really relaxed way? Are you going to do that? I don't know about you, but I wouldn't. I mean, in 1 month I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in that country surrounded by Russians who are speaking Russian all the time and who are not going to understand another language that I speak. So I really need to be speaking the language. I really need to function right now. So you are not going to follow those hobbies approaches, those relaxed approaches are not going to work for you. I'm sorry, but they are not going to work for you. What you need is, you know, a professional tutor. The best thing that you can do if you're in that situation is that you must find a language institute and you have to take an immersive course. That's the best option that you have. Find a language institute near where you are and take a immersive course on that language. If you're not able to find a language institute near you, take a course online, or try to find a native teacher, explain to him your situation, and hire him to become like your guide in the following month, so that he can teach you the things that you really need to learn, the things that you are going to need when you are there, when you are actually in the country. Honestly, those are the best options that you can take if you're a serious learner and you need the language to learn the language right away. If you're a hobbyist, well, then there's nothing, you know, you are free basically. You can try whatever you want, you can do whatever you want. Everything will work. Everything will be okay, because again, you don't have time against you, you don't have necessity against you, you don't have a certification against you. You are just learning for fun, so you will just have fun. I mean, you can try whatever method you want and everything will be okay. You may find a method and learn a lot with that method. You may find another method and not really learn that much, but it's good, okay? Just by learning something, it's good. And you can try whatever method. You can try the method of Steve Kaufman, you can try the method of Benny Lewis, create your own method. It doesn't matter. The method, if you're a hobbyist, the method doesn't matter, because you're just learning for fun and that's it. But if you're a serious learner, the method matters, the time matters, the approach matters. Everything matters when you're a serious learner. And okay, you can see the difference. And a problem arises when a serious learner who really needs to learn the language goes to YouTube and sees the videos of the YouTube polyglots. Because one thing that you need to know is that pretty much all of the YouTube polyglots are hobbyists, okay? All of them are hobbyists, and they are making videos to hobbyists. So really quite an important problem arises when a lot of serious learners go to YouTube. They find these polyglots who are hobbyists, and they follow the advices of these hobbyists, of these polyglots, and they start to implement the ideas and the approaches of hobbyists, and that is something that actually affects a lot of serious learners, and I have seen this happening. There was one one man, a Mexican, who was trying to learn English because he was going to work in the United States, and he really needed to learn the language. And he was in the forum of Link, and I remember that he was saying that he made a premium account and that he wanted to learn English, that he needed to learn English, but he was like, I already made a premium account, but I don't know how to use this thing. I don't know where to begin with, and I really need to learn the language. And he's not going to learn the language that way, using Link in that way. He needs a special tutor. He needs an immersive course. And I met an Italian in my blog. I think that she was trying to learn English because she was going to travel to US for something related about her work, and she was studying English with Asimil, following the way that Luca Lampariello, following the way that Luca studies Asimil, and she said that she was really devoted to that particular method, and she was studying a lot. And one day she just encountered a group of tourists, American tourists, in Italy, and those American tourists, they didn't speak Italian, and they asked her for directions, and she wasn't able to give those directions to them. Even though she studied a lot of English using Asimil and the approaches of Luca, she wasn't able to give them appropriate directions. So this happens because they are serious learners, but they are applying approaches that are for hobbies, for people who are just enjoying the language, and that is not what they need. They need other approaches. So this is a big problem that arises for a lot of serious learners that come to YouTube. They get the idea of the polyglots, they follow the ideas of the polyglots, and that's something that results counterproductive to them, because these are people who are learning the language for a different reason than you. They are hobbies, they are just here to have fun. They don't really need the language as you do. So that's like the big problem that arises here, and I have met quite a number of people who have this problem, that they are serious learners. They listen to the polyglot's advices, and those advices result counterproductive because they lose time in something that wasn't, a method that wasn't designed for them. So yeah, this video is like a big disclaimer to the YouTube polyglot community. If you are new to the community, I really hope that you watch this video, because I guess that you will be able to understand things better now. If you're a hobbyist, you are free, you can do whatever you want, but if you really need the language, you should try the things that I said. You should try to find an immersive course, something related. That's why a lot of companies, when they are about to send a worker to another country, they allow those workers to take an immersive course in a special institute. They even pay that course. The company pays that course to them. So that's what a lot of companies do. Unfortunately, there's also a lot of companies that do not do this type of thing, and the workers have to learn the language by their own means. So if you really need to learn the language, you need to find other resources. The things that the YouTube people say, they are not meant for serious learner. Those things are meant for a hobbyist, and that's just a big disclaimer that I wanted to say. And well, this will be all for now. See you later.